What's going on, guys? Welcome to another video. I'm your boy NarikChase, and in this video we're going to be doing another awesome edition of casting choices. This episode we are going to be focusing on one of my favorite comic book characters as well as video game characters, Bigby Wolf from the Fables comic book series, as well as the main protagonist, one of the main protagonists in The Wolf Among Us, done by Telltale Games, or what used to be Telltale Games. Now, I've come up with 4 awesome actors that can easily fill the role for this character. Now, for those who don't know, Bigby Wolf is again one of the characters in the Fables series that focuses on fables. So Bigby is actually the big bad wolf. This time he's a bit more reformed, and he is the sheriff of Fabletown, this small community where the fables have come into our world, similar to Once Upon a Time. And he's the sheriff. Bigby is a bit rough around the edges, but he's really smart. He's actually a pretty cool guy. Even though he does come off a bit of a douchebag here and there, but he does do it with the best of intentions. He's incredibly long-lived. He has great relationships with many of the other tenants in the community, and he's also pretty badass. Not to mention, he has some really cool abilities. So, without further ado, let's go ahead and get into the casting choices for this episode of Casting Choices. Now, the first person that I wanted to bring up on this list, and everybody's know who this is, Andrew Lincoln. Andrew Lincoln is the guy that played Rick Grimes in The Walking Dead. The reason why I wanted to pick him is because he is an actor. He's pretty diverse, but he's mostly known because he can be very gritty. He can be a very serious and gritty type of character, a very negative and pessimistic type of character. But he's also a very strong and commanding can bring a stronger commanding character as well, and I think that will be a good translation for Bigby, because Bigby is one of those types of characters that can take charge. Think about Rick. Rick is very fearless when it comes to protecting others, very loyal when it comes to protecting others. The guy's actually really badass in a fight. He's also really serious, even though he has a lot going on with, like within him, his own personal demons. He would not hesitate to stretch out and try to help someone else, especially people that are in the circle. And I think that would be a good that would translate well to the character of Bigby Wolf. Not to mention, Andrew Lincoln is like the most intense guy ever. So I think for like those moments where Bigby is like wolfing out and stuff, I think that would actually be pretty cool. I mean, have you ever seen those moments where he's actually staring another character down and it makes him back down? That's something Bigby could do. So I would like to see him play Bigby based on his performance as Rick Grimes in The Walking Dead. Now, admittedly, I hadn't seen like all of this guy's stuff. In fact, I hadn't seen him outside of The Walking Dead. But I'm quite sure that he has an extensive list, whether it's in television or in movies. But like I said, the man has a good presence on screen. I think that will work well for this character. Now, another person that's actually played a lot of really serious and gritty roles, Keanu Reeves. I think Keanu Reeves would be a perfect cast for it. Now, I was watching Constantine a while back, and I wanted to brush up on his performance as Constantine, and he wasn't as douchey or as much of an asshole. I mean, he was like Constantine is in the comics, but I don't think he portrayed it that well. But I think if he could be recast to play Bigby Wolf, then that same performance that he put in the Constantine would work just as much for this role. Yes, he's very withdrawn. He smokes all the freaking time. And if you didn't think that was Constantine, it was a magic, and he could actually turn into a werewolf, I would say that he could have actually used that performance for Bigby Wolf. Now, Keanu Reeves has played a lot of interesting stuff, some romance, some drama, some adventure, but he's mostly known for being a lot of his more grittier roles, more serious roles. John Wick, Neo from The Matrix. Yes, he's done Speed, which was a freaking awesome movie, but but he's actually been, and what was the man from Tai Chi? He was a bad guy in that one, which was pretty cool because it worked really well. But I think if he can play dark roles like that, serious roles like that, violent roles like that. I think it would actually work for Bigby Wolf as well. Which is why I say Keanu Reeves, like when they were saying Keanu Reeves could probably be like the next Wolverine, I could actually see Keanu Reeves possibly being the next Wolverine because he has that dark aura about him, that very serious aura about him. And I think that again could translate well to a Bigby Wolf type character. All right. Now I know I've said this guy. It seems like I'm always putting this guy on this list. Ryan Gosling. I want Ryan Gosling to be able to play Bigby Wolf mainly because his performance in the freaking Blade Runner 2049. I like how serious the guy was. I like how mysterious the guy was, and I like when it came to him kicking ass. He was actually able to fight and shoot and stuff. I don't know what it is about him being in that movie that made me like, okay, this dude is actually a pretty badass actor. Then I started, whenever I could get my hands on watching one of his movies or whatever, I could sit there and go watch it. But I think and then I did like him in The Nice Guys too. That he was really funny in The Nice Guys. But I think he will actually bring a bit more depth to the character because how diverse his roles are. He's not really. I haven't known him for just like serious roles like that, but I like the diversity of what I've seen so far, and I think that could lead to a more interesting and complex character. Ryan Gosling definitely has that good, nice guy feel to him, but at the same time, if he will switch it up on you, and it has that really intense stare. I don't know if anyone's seen that before, but there's a lot of the moments when I see him playing, he had that really intense stare when he's like really serious, and it's kind of creepy and off-putting, but it's like kind of cool at the same time. And I think Bigby does that a lot to people, which makes them back down and makes them feel nervous and stuff. So I would not mind seeing Ryan Gosling pick up the role as Bigby Wolf. Not to mention, it would be interesting seeing him play something like this. I haven't seen him playing like a comic book movie. I haven't really seen him playing like some sci-fi action film or something like that. I haven't seen him playing in any like medieval fantasy setting like that. Maybe he has. I haven't seen it. But it would be pretty cool for him to play like a comic book character, and I think he could land a good role as Bigby Wolf. I would not hesitate. I would be all for it if he would actually go for this character. Besides, and like I said, whether it's a translation of the video game or it's a translation of the comics, I think it would actually work well, given his ability to adapt to these different roles that I've seen him in. So I do have the highest faith that he could potentially be a good Bigby Wolf. And finally, for my final person on the casting choices, Ethan Hawke. Now, Ethan Hawke has been known to play a lot of assholes in movies. A lot of unlikable characters, gritty characters, dark characters, violent characters. He's played other things too, but I've mostly known him for playing in these like really dark roles, characters that you don't damn like and stuff like that. And that would definitely fit into the whole he would definitely fit as Bigby Wolf. If you wanted to go for a Bigby that's a bit of an asshole, that doesn't give a damn about nobody, that just sits there and just kicks all types of ass, which we don't want that because Bigby is much deeper than that. But Ethan Hawke definitely would take the role, and I would like to see him play a character like this. Bigby is basically a werewolf, so I think I would like to see him play a character like this. I think it would be very interesting, and I think it would definitely use. I think it would use all of that stereotypical Ethan Hawke type of vibe to a character that can actually use it. Like he's like one of those guys that can easily play like the asshole type characters. Like if you want him to play like Wolverine or like Sabretooth or like Bigby, of course. These many other characters that are kind of like douchebags, like the Punisher. He could actually slip in those types of roles because he's known for playing those types of characters. So, and not to mention, I think out of all of the people on this list, I think he actually looks the most like him, next to Andrew Lincoln. But I think he actually looks more like Bigby than the other three actors that I listed on here. If you've ever seen the movie The Purge, he has that type of that assholishness to him. He was like that in Sinister. He was like that in Training Day a little bit. He was kind of like that in Training Day a little bit. But Let me. In fact, I'm gonna go ahead and look up some more of his films because this is one of the moments I'm blanking out. Ethan Hawke filmography. Yes, let's go ahead and take a look at his. But yeah, I like Ethan Hawke. Ethan Hawke, but I gotta give the guy credit. The guy actually has more depth than what I'm giving him credit for. Yeah, he does. He can bring a interesting bit. You ever see the movie Boyhood? That's like one of those movies. I'm like, okay, yeah, Ethan Hawke has a lot more to him. If you ever see the movie Assault on Precinct 13, can't believe I forgot that one. That one right there was really good, and I think that he like that right there, that standoffishness, that could translate well as well. But anyways, guys, I want y'all to let me know what did you think about this video. Which one of these four guys could pick up the role of Bigby Wolf in a live adaptation of the Fables series, whether it be a movie or whether it be a television series? The characters are, I mean, the actors are, of course, Andrew Lincoln, Keanu Reeves, Ryan Gosling, and Ethan Hawke. Oh, he was in Daybreakers. Okay, he was in he was in Total Recall. Yeah, okay. I think it was in Total Recall. Okay. In the director's cut. Oh, okay. Whatever that is. Anyways, guys, thank you for joining me again on another edition of the NarikChase channel here on the Casting Choices channel, guys. Let us know which one of these four great actors will be a great Bigby Wolf. Also, be sure to hit that like, share, subscribe, and that notification button to get the best of what's going on this channel, because we do upload videos several times a week. Come join us. Watch this. Hit that notification so you'll know when these videos come up and you can enjoy them first. All right, then. Catch you guys later.